Hello. I'm a school teacher and also, and more importantly, a mother, and currently a grandmother. Nana. They call me Nana. I've been teaching reading for many, many years, and there's a few secrets that I would like to teach parents that really make it easier for very young children. If your child is starting to ask, what are those words on the page? Why do they say what you say they say? This is the showing readiness. It's the time that you could introduce them. But if they're very little, of course, they don't want a long lesson, and they sure don't want a hard lesson, because little kids like it to be fun. So as soon as your child can name some of their toys, they're actually ready to start some naming of the understanding of the letters. And this usually happens around age 3. Don't worry if it's a little bit later, it's fine. Now I wanted to tell you some basic principles. First of all, your child is very, very smart. Your child, for example, might say, 1 dog, 2 dogs. 1 child, 2 childs. Now that means your child's brain is already thinking in a logic of grammar to assume that the plural in English is made with S. Your little child will not be able to tell you that's the theory. Your brain of the child, though, is knowing that theory. If your child says, I jumped, I walked, I goed, I doed it, your child's brain is working on the theory that the past tense in English takes ed. It's a very good theory. Now, it's not always true, but it shows you that the child's logic is airtight. And what we owe the child is a logical system for reading. English is very hard, but it has its logical elements. We show them the logical elements first. Then they get this great self-confidence, and then we can show them the weirdness exceptions. But start off with the logic. So, if you look, for example, at these 3 letters, and you tell the child, these are C and D and K, your smart little child will be wondering, what on earth are you talking about? Is it the color? Is it the size? Is it what they're made of? What is it that makes that one a C and this one not a C? So your child's brain is thinking, what is it that matters in this situation? So the first thing to do is to simplify, to get rid of everything that it isn't. A lot of people start with this A, B, C and start that. The problem with teaching all the letters at once is it's too hard, it's overwhelming. So what I like to do is I just do 1 letter at a time. 1 letter a day. That simplifies it. And the lesson should only take like 5 minutes or less. And then you spend the rest of the day and maybe some more days after that with that 1 letter. The next principle is to not teach things that will confuse the child. Don't teach the capital letter and the lowercase letter the same day. There is no way that that remotely looks like that. A child is thinking, why is that A and that other thing also A? I don't get it. So don't confuse them. I just taught the lowercase because that's what books are written in. I taught lowercase only. The next thing to do is to simplify with font. There are many ways to print letters. This is A, this is A. Don't confuse the child. I like to just use the 1. 1 font, stay with it, and then the child's task is easy. Also, don't teach several sounds for the letter. A can say A or A or aw even. Don't teach all that at once. Poor little child. Teach 1 sound this letter makes and only show the words where it makes that sound, and that simplifies it. So your task is to appeal to the logical brain of your child, which is a very good brain, and make the task airtight, logical. Something else which is, I think, very important is to simplify the name of what you're going to call these letters. This letter is the letter H. And if we're just going to even do just lowercase, that letter is called H. But it never says H, it says H. So I didn't tell the child it was H. I said this letter is H. And that cuts the task in half right there. I do not teach the name of the letter, I teach the sound it makes. And when I teach the sound it makes, I give a reason. I invent the reason, but it's a logical reason. For example, if I want to teach the sound of this letter, W, I give him a clue to a story. And this one is because it looks like waves on the water. So when he looks at that letter, he sees waves, thinks of water, waves, w, and then he's got already the sound, and he's got the letter W. So I allow the child to call that letter waves or W, because they're right. They're remembering the story. So you're giving the child a lot of equipment to a lot of history with that letter. So when he sees the letter, he will immediately, or she will immediately, think of the sound that goes with that story. So we're using one font, lowercase only, one letter per day, doing the sound of the letter, not the name of the letter, and trying to give a story with each letter so that it's very memorable. It's important to appeal to the child's senses. So if you can make letters around the house of that one font, right, of various materials, cardboard, even cheese slices, even line them up with pennies, just show the shape is what matters. Nothing else matters. Not color, not size, just the shape. You can appeal to smell and taste then with the food, with touch. If you do different things the child can touch, so that he knows or she knows that it's the shape alone we're talking about. And it should be a fun experience. It should grow on itself as the child experiences success, and that helps them as they're getting ready for school.